The Magistrate's Trap. In ancient China, there was a county magistrate named Chow. He was known for being honest, thrifty, and always full of witty humor. One day, Magistrate Chow called his assistant into his study. He handed him a storeroom inventory and said calmly, "There was a break-in last night. Go check what's missing." The assistant went off and returned shortly after. "Sir, everything's in place, except 2 silver ingots and 3 gold bars." Magistrate Chow looked at him carefully. "Are you sure that's what's missing?" "Yes," replied the assistant confidently. Then, with a wave of his hand, Magistrate Chow ordered, "Bring in the guest." A moment later, a barefoot young man in tattered clothes was brought in. Chow turned to the assistant and said, "You're fired. He's taking your place." The assistant was stunned. He glanced at the ragged youth and blurted out, "Who is this man?" "The thief who broke into the storeroom," said the magistrate, smiling. "Wait, what? You're replacing me with a thief?" Magistrate Chow stroked his beard and said calmly, "Let me tell you a story. Yesterday evening, while walking back to my residence, I saw this young man. I struck up a conversation, and he confessed, blushing, that he hadn't eaten in 2 days. "I'm a poor scholar," he said, "and I was planning to steal a little food from the rich just to fill my stomach." Chow found his honesty intriguing, so he decided to test him. "Well," he said, "I'm broke too. Why don't we steal something together and split it?" The young man agreed. As night fell, Chow secretly led him into the government storeroom, dismissed the guards, and let the young man climb in alone. He returned after a while with 2 silver ingots. He gave one to Chow just as they had agreed. "There were boxes and cabinets everywhere," the young man explained, "but I only opened a small case. It had 2 silver ingots and 3 gold bars. I took just the silver. I steal only to survive, not to get rich." Chow nodded, let the young man go, and immediately went to verify the storeroom himself. Everything the young man had said was exactly true. The magistrate turned back to his assistant. "Now, let's talk about your inspection." When Chow first told the assistant to check the theft, the man saw an opportunity. He figured he could quietly steal something and blame it on the thief. But to his disappointment, all the large boxes were sealed shut. Only the small case had been opened, and the gold bars were still there. Tempted, he pocketed the 3 gold bars. He had no idea that Magistrate Chow had set the entire thing up as a test. Now the magistrate looked at both men, one ashamed, one sweating. "Tell me," he said to the assistant coldly, "should I hire an honest thief who stole to survive and kept his word, or a greedy liar who took public money and tried to blame someone else?" The assistant couldn't say a word. He pulled the gold bars from his robe and slunk out in disgrace. As for the young man, Magistrate Chow smiled and said kindly, "Even if it was out of desperation, stealing is still wrong. You must never do it again." The young man bowed deeply, his face burning red.